Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for additional details. Today, we're discussing a watch that launched in 2021 in what Audemars Piguet calls navy blue. This is the Royal Oak Offshore Diver. 42 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. It is 14.2 millimeters thick. It's 54 millimeters from lug to lug. But if you include these little end links, the plots, total distance across the wrist is 58.7 millimeters. So this is a big watch. Thrown it on the wrist, it wears more like a 44 or a 45, and you can see that. It fits on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, but I recommend your wrist be at least 15 centimeters circumference to wear this. That said, it's not as thick as you might think, and it will slide underneath jacket cuffs. It's a comfortable watch, too. As you can see, the lugs have a little bit of a downward angle to them, which mitigates against the size of it. The strap is black. It has a little bit of a recess in the center, some beveling on the edge, and a matte finish. You can see the watch includes AP's new quick release system, so if you want to put a different strap on and change the look, you can easily do so. You'll have a variety of OEM options to do that, and if you look carefully, you can see there's a little release on the edge of the buckle, so you can remove the buckle from the strap without tools, and you can remove the strap from the case without tools. Now you can see that the watch has a little bit of a bevel on the side of the case, but if you look carefully, you can also see beveling on the side of the crown guards. There's a lot of hand finishing here, and this break between polish and satin is part of what you pay for when you pay the price to get an Audemars Piguet case and a watch tangibly hand finished. The same effort is lavished on ceramic parts. As you can see, the outer face of the crown shoulder in ceramic is polished, and then the facets on the side are satinated. And you can see this is true too on the crown that's used for operating the ratcheting internal dive bezel. Now that crown is a screw down, both crowns are screw downs. The watch is 300 meters water resistant. You can line up with the minute hand, and then you've got a timing mechanism. You don't need a Royal Oak offshore chronograph in order to time your dive, your cooking, the kids' time out, intervals before your next meeting starts. You can do all sorts of things with the diving bezel, time anything, really. It doesn't have to be a dive. And in fact, if it's a user like me, it's probably not going to be a dive. It's useful though, and you don't get the downstream service costs of a chronograph, which is important with Audemars Piguet. Screw down crowns, again, 300 meters water resistant. We have a little bezel gasket that actually matches the color of the dial, so that's nice coordination. The bezel is rounded and octagonal. The original Royal Oak, designed by Gerald Gent in 1972, had a bezel shape designed to reference a vintage diving helmet. Now, because this is an offshore, we have polished steel bolts inside the bezel. They're hexagonal, take note. So are the shoulders for the two crowns. The dial is the Mega Tapisserie. It is the large hobnail, stamped and then blue lacquered. We have that chaptering outboard that acts as the diving bezel. The hands are broad. The indices were a new design for 2021, and we have a little magnifier built into the dial for the date. Now, the watch has two subsidiary setting modes, one of which is hacking seconds. Let's just make sure we're not in the date change danger zone there. Okay, we're not. The other setting mode is the quick set system for the date, so you can rapidly cycle the date. We're going to flip the watch over. We have an all new generation of movement. This is the AP manufacturer automatic caliber known as the 15720ST.OO.A027CA.01. So this is a movement that is automatic winding with ceramic rotor bearings. It's shock tolerant, courtesy of a full balance bridge and a free sprung index. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has an advertised 60-hour power reserve, though other versions of this movement are advertised at 70, and I wonder if 60 isn't a typo by Audemars Piguet. The watch, of course, features a combination of manual and hand finish that is standard for Audemars Piguet. The movement pivots on 32 jewels, and being tough, relatively long-legged, and handsome, it's a good match for the case. The previous caliber 3120 was a much smaller movement that was an uncomfortable fit for the rather large offshore case. Here you can see that the movement better fills out the case back. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore diver.